Magruder in the left slot. Hill, right side, hit at the line of scrimmage. Tries to keep going. Does he get in? No sit. Touchdown, Midway. Oh, my. That took forever.
The Midway Weekly Podcast is brought to you by Bentwood Realty, Bird Culchin Ford, Bubba's 33, and Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Now, here's David Smoak.
Hard to imagine, but it is week number 10 of the Texas high school football season and the last regular season and district game this weekend for the Midway Panthers, who need a win to get into the playoffs. And if they do, man, despite what's happened, what the record is, Midway will play and maybe even host a playoff game if they can beat Weiss down in Pflugerville. Shane Anderson joins me each week on the Midway Football Show, and we appreciate your time every single week. So no matter what, and Friday game with Bryan was incredibly disappointing. We'll get to that. But you still, I thought you'd lost control of your own destiny, but you still have that.
Yeah, we do. And, I think goes back to that win against Hutto and to start district. And so, and that's what, we tell the kids all the time, every week in district is very, very important. Every point is important, because when you have ties and stuff like that, it comes down to plus and negative points. And so, we're thankful. We're, obviously not satisfied with our record or not satisfied with how the last couple of weeks have gone. But, at the same time, we do control our own destiny and our kids have a chance to keep playing. So
if you win, you're in, no matter what.
Yeah, if we win, we're in. And then like I told you the other day, there's a scenario that if we win Friday and we're in, and then Hutto were to beat Bryan and Weiss, then that would put us as the number one seed in big school because we have the head-to-head on Hutto, and then Temple would go to small. But, right now all we're focused
4-4. They've had a couple of nice wins. They've also had problems at quarterback with injuries. You can experience that with when you had Junior, then he went out. Pretty good football team. They got some skill people. Micah Gifford's going to Baylor, the receiver, defensive back. Another guy has a offer. Somebody, a running back. Alexander's going to Rice. They've got some skill people.
Yeah, they have, a very, very talented football team. They're moving up from 5A, where they had a ton of success last year. I think they were 11-3 or 12-2 last year. And so, Coach Van Meter's an old school ball coach that, you can tell he has a program in place and has guys in place to make it go. Very, very talented defensively, very aggressive. And then, like you mentioned, the skill kids on offense as a whole may be the best group in the district.
So the Gifford kid, number 2, Micah, committed to Baylor. And, you had a scrimmage. Remember, you had Midland Legacy came into town and Lake Belton. And Lake Belton has the receiver who's so talented that could end up going anywhere. Is there a difference between what you saw with Lake Belton's receiver and what you see with Micah Gifford?
Well, they're a little bit, they're two different kids. The kid from Lake Belton, is more of a compact, explosive, scat back type kid that, if he gets the ball, he's super explosive. The Gifford kid that we'll play Friday is a tall, long, rangy kid. He has all the measurables, can jump out of the ceiling. And then he also plays defense, and that's what I like about him. He's not a selfish kid. He's committed to play Power 5 football, but he's going to go out there and do what's best for his football team to win, and he can definitely change the game on both sides of the ball.
Micah Gifford from Weiss. Micah Hudson is the receiver from Lake Belton. So, Shane, Friday didn't go well. Bryan came in, their quarterback, Malcolm Gooden, had been in and out, had the thumb injury. He even had his thumb taped a lot in that game. Did that game just get away from you? Did that surprise you with what happened?
Well, I think it was just it came down to a few plays, and then it we didn't make them and they did, and then it separated real quick. I thought the first half, I thought we played okay. We took the ball, we drove it down. Scored. We attempted the onside kick. They had shown on film that was there. The wind set up. The right side of the field ended up being on our sideline. We took a chance there. The ball didn't get 10 yards.
Oh, okay.
And so, that was the deal on that. It only went 9 yards. And, so obviously we couldn't cover that. And then they go down and score, tie it up. And then, the quarterback just extended play after play after play in the first half, and in the second half they kind of took it to us. But it was disappointing. But like I said, that kid had been banged up, and I'll never take anything away from a kid or from another program or coach. Coach Tullis had his kids ready to play, coming off a bye, and then a Weiss game that didn't go their way. They regrouped, and the quarterback was back, and he was fresh, and they won the game fair and square, and we got to do a better job.
All right, now on the onside kick, because we have an incredible view from where we are in the press box at Panther Stadium. Paul and I thought it went 10 and bounced backwards, but it never did go 10 because I didn't see you argue with it.
It checked up before.
Okay.
Before it got 10 yards, and we ended up jumping on it, but it was just because
it was a perfect kick.
It was sitting there, and then like I said, we needed to go another yard and a half, and I think we would have had a chance to get the ball back and going into the win, and possibly make it 14-0. But that's why they call it a game, and that's why you play it.
You have these phrases, these themes, whatever. I know one more week or whatever, another week or whatever it is for this week. So if you do win, you're in. And do players listen to that?
I hope so. I sure do spend a lot of time thinking about it and coming up with it and preaching it to them all week. And that's the first thing I tell them on Monday. This week was one more. And we're trying to get one more Monday practice and one more game together and one more opportunity. And, at the end of the day, just this senior class being that group that gets Midway back in the playoffs.
So you have this season. It could end Friday night. How much does that bother you that you might not even be playing the last weekend because of the way the schedule, and that's a bye week, or not a bye week, but an off week for you?
I wouldn't say it bothers me. Obviously, you don't ever want it to end. And our goal is to be a playoff football team. And so if that's not the result that we get, it'll be disappointing. It's a unique situation, and that we played 10 straight and then have a bye at the end. I've done that before, but fortunately, the last time I did it, we were 10-0, and so we were finishing up a 10-0 run, and then we had the year. With the COVID stuff, where our district, when I was at Connolly, we pushed everything up and kept that week at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And that year we were a good football team. We weren't a 10-0 district championship football team, but we had a big win that last ball game against China Spring in overtime, and then we sat on it a week, and I think it kind of played into us not playing real well in the first round. But it's at the same time, it's just a draw. Everybody draws for their bye in an odd team district, and that's the one we drew. And, we've tried to make the most of it and tried to prepare the kids through off season and summer, to be in shape. And I think, we've done a good job of that. We've got to execute down the stretch, and we've got to take care of the football.
That year in COVID, we did your games, and Kavion Gaither, and then a dramatic win against China Spring. And then center was who you played, I think, down in Madisonville. They had a great running back, and it was a great game. But you're right, you lost that game. So where is the commitment to football in the community, in Woodway and in Hewitt? Is it there?
Yeah, absolutely. All you have to do is just pull up to that stadium.
Sure.
And, we're a 2-6 football team, and you were there Friday night, and it's a packed house. And we have some of the best support groups in the state of Texas. You look at our drill team, our cheerleaders, our Blue Crew, Panther Patrol, our band, our student trainers. Just everybody that's involved in Friday nights at Midway is the best. And, it's our responsibility to win the games on Friday and give them something to support and give them something to cheer about. But at the end of the day, I think it comes down to developing young men and developing young people. And, we work extremely hard on that. And, but I don't think there's any question as far as the commitment and the support, from our community and our school district.
And I'll bring this up. When I moved to Waco in 2010, once Midway started practicing, Terry Gamble was there. You were on the staff. And I remember coming to the campus. I'd never been to Midway. I know there was those great games that on my message board, Smoaky.com, some of the longest threads ever were the Midway Longview playoff games that set everybody off. And obviously Midway fans still mad about the fourth down touchdown run by Johnson, the quarterback at Longview. Then 2 years later, there was a fourth down stop again. So I asked that question, there's no question. I drove on the campus and I was like, my God. And I've been doing this a long time and I've seen some great stadiums. Everyone's kind of tired of losing though, aren't they?
Yeah,
you are,
absolutely.
the staff is, the players, everybody. It needs to turn.
Yeah, it does. And, and that's I've mentioned several times, talking about trying to find a winning streak and win multiple games back to back. And, that hadn't been the norm in a long, long time. Even going back to before Coach Gamble was there, at the end of Coach Bechtel's tenure, things were rolling and 12-2, 9-3 his last 2 years, and then, like I said, it's just, you get thrown in that district and then, have a couple of years of down football, and then you got to learn how to win again. And I think that's just where we're at. I think we have great kids, despite our record this year and our record last year, our kids continue to show up, continue to work, continue to care about each other, continue to act right, do the things we're asking them to do. And, and that's what's most important. But at the same time, it's not a whole lot of fun going out there on Friday nights if you don't get to celebrate a win.
And the freshmen and the JV are playing well. They're competing and playing well. And maybe there's an infusion of new youth and maybe some talent that you need to maybe take it to that next level.
Yeah, we're going to, like I said, we're going to keep working. We're going to keep coaching our kids, keep doing things the right way. And I think it's like anything else. If you do things the right way, good things will happen.
Shane Anderson, head football coach at Midway, with us every single week, and we hope that this continues. And, again, on the 365 Sports Podcast. My last question to you, when you wake up on game days, what is your demeanor? Because I know you. You're as truthful and transparent. You and I get along really well because we're both that way. What is it like for you on game days? Are you different?
No, I don't try to be. Like I said, it's one of those things. It's the end of the week, and then you got to make sure that you want the kids to be locked in and you want them to be focused, but you still want them to be kids. And so, I try to just feed off of them. I observe them as they come in on Fridays, and we do team chapel on Friday mornings at 8:45. So they come in and they get their game day polo or their travel suit, whatever we're wearing that Friday. And, I just spend time talking to them and trying to get their demeanor. And then, I adjust what I need to adjust based on where our kids are that morning.
All right. Again, good luck on Friday in Pflugerville. We'll be there. It's the Field, P-F-I-E-L-D. I love the name of the stadium. Nice place. And we'll be there with our broadcast, 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 is the kickoff on 106.7 FM. The Eagle, we have a link, Sikkim365.com. And we have, again, we hope the season has another game in the second week of November. We'll see what happens Friday night and how things fall. Thanks for your time, as always. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Shane Anderson, Midway football coach. Jacob Wilson running the mothership in the background to make us look, well, I don't know about me, but look and sound better and good for you. We appreciate the support of Midway ISD, and we hope this thing continues. This is 365 Sports.
Magruder in the left slot. Hill, right side, hit at the line of scrimmage. Tries to keep going. Does he get in? No sit. Touchdown, Midway. Oh, my. That took forever.
The Midway Weekly Podcast is brought to you by Bentwood Realty, Bird Culchin Ford, Bubba's 33, and Texas Farm Bureau Insurance.